the Olympics have a rich history of inspiring achievements as well as controversial moments. In just a few days, the 2016 Olympics will kick off in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, with more than 10,000 athletes from 206 countries competing in the Games. The lead-up to these Games has already been marked by several controversies, including the corruption and instability of the country's federal government, health and safety concerns surrounding the Zika virus, the pollution in the Guanabara Bay, and a doping scandal involving Russia, and that's just this year. That being said, there have also been some wonderful moments and milestones over the years that have perhaps left the deepest impressions on the world and the Games today. Here is a look back. Ali lighting the torch. Atlanta 1996. Atlanta 1996 marked the centenary of the modern Olympics, and organizers hatched a top-secret plan for Muhammad Ali to light the torch at the opening ceremony. The American had won a light heavyweight gold medal in 1960 as Cassius Clay, before changing his name and becoming the greatest, a boxer whose exploits in the ring made him the world's most beloved athlete. But 36 years after his triumph at the Rome Games, Ali's once mighty body was racked by Parkinson's disease, and he had not been fit enough to take part in rehearsals for the ceremony. On the big night, the Georgia Dome crowd gasped in surprise as Ali emerged from behind a curtain in a white tracksuit, his arms and head shaking erratically. As a global audience of 3 billion held its breath, Ali momentarily conquered his trembling to defiantly hold aloft the Olympic flame before slowly lowering it to light the cauldron's fuse. Black Power Salute. Mexico City 1968. Americans Tommy Smith and John Carlos were determined to make a statement about racism after coming first and third in the men's 200 meters in Mexico City. As the Star-Spangled Banner played, the pair stood on the podium shoeless and bowed their heads, then each raised a gloved fist in the gesture universally known as the Black Power Salute. The silent protest prompted boos in the crowd, and Olympic chiefs slammed the politicization of the Games as a deliberate and violent breach of the fundamental principles of the Olympic spirit. Smith and Carlos were suspended and kicked out of the athletes' village, but their action resonated with the black community and today is recognized as a civil rights milestone. Ben Johnson doping scandal. Seoul 1988. Ben Johnson's steroid-assisted victory in the men's 100 meters final in Seoul revealed for the first time the scale of the doping problem facing modern sport. The focus heading into the final was squarely on the contest between Canada's Johnson and his hated rival Carl Lewis of the United States. But Johnson was untouchable, exploding from the blocks to blitz the field in a world record time of 9.79 seconds. Even taunting Lewis with a raised index finger gesturing number 1 as he crossed the line. 3 days later he was stripped of his medal, his time and ultimately his career after it was announced that he had tested positive for stenozolol, a banned anabolic steroid. Derek Redmond. Barcelona 1992. British sprinter Derek Redmond brought Barcelona's Olympic Stadium to its feet when he tore his hamstring but stubbornly insisted on finishing his race. Redmond had experienced Olympic agony 4 years before in Seoul, when his Achilles tendon snapped just minutes before he was due to race. After numerous surgeries he appeared back to his best in Barcelona and cruised through the 200m preliminary rounds, only for his hamstring to go in the semi-finals. Determined to finish this time, he pulled himself up from the track and began dragging himself around the course one-legged, waving away medics. Father Jim was watching from the stands and vaulted the barricades to reach his weeping son, wrapping his arms around him and helping him hobble to the finish line. When I got there he insisted on finishing the race, so I said to him, "We started your career together and we will finish it together," Jim Redmond later recalled. He didn't win a medal but he won the hearts of the world. Eric the Eel Moussambani Sydney 2000. Eric the Eel Moussambani flailed his way into Olympic history with his inept but dogged performance in the 100m freestyle in Sydney. From Equatorial Guinea, Moussambani had only taught himself to swim 8 months before the games and had never seen a 50m pool before arriving in Australia. His technique, which more closely resembled doggy paddle than the slick efficiency of freestyle, initially caused ripples of laughter in the stands, but cheers of encouragement followed as Moussambani continued churning through the water as concerned lifeguards stood ready to pluck him from the pool. Gasping for breath, he finished in 1:52.72, the slowest 100m recorded at the Games, more than double the time of the other heat winners and came to embody the sentiment of the founder of the modern Olympics, Baron Pierre de Coubertin. The important thing is not winning but taking part.